this is not something I would normally talk about. Sitting here and being vulnerable and talking about mental health, talking about anxiety, I've done it a lot in my time in my career, having to turn up with a brave face and not talk about this. But now having Mellows and seeing how positively it's affecting people's lives, it's really given me this, this, if you want to call it a hidden passion or a hidden drive, to actually share my story and show my truths. And after doing that, it's interesting because it gives me this inner urge to do more of it. You feel more empowered when you do talk about your authentic truths, and it's really rewarding. Yeah, so it all started for me about 10 years ago. I had my own cafe. I was running a cafe. Had a young family as well. My daughter was very young at the time, not sleeping and stuff like that, and I was just busy, man. But I was in a good headspace. I was busy. I'd be surfing as much as I could, running this cafe, but I was the type of person that would be at the cafe every single day working, not 9 to 5, would be open at 4 in the morning and close, but then I'd be there later on. So I was always loved to invest myself, and really for me, I'm a type of person that loves to create unique experiences for people to enjoy themselves. But on and beyond that, I remember going out for a surf, I remember just getting these weird thoughts, like, for some reason I heard, a siren go off, and I saw a fire engine cruise past, and I'm out surfing by myself. This is in Narrabeen in Sydney. I'm by myself out there surfing. And then for some reason I correlated that to thinking that there was a fire in our apartment. And I thought that my young daughter was there and my wife was there, so I freaked out and I sort of paddled in from the surf quite quickly because I thought something was on fire. And sort of rushed up there and then saw that they weren't even home and there was no fire. And I'm just like, man, it's like these correlations of these thoughts. I was like, well, why did I think that sort of thing? And then all the way out of the blue, my heart just started beating fast, and I thought, oh no, this is no good. And I again thought I was having a heart attack at that point in time, and unbeknown to me, I was having a full-blown panic attack. And it was a full body experience. I remember getting on the phone, calling, family saying, oh, I'm not feeling right, what's going on, sort of thing. And then that led to me having anxiety for a good year and a half of daily panic attacks, every single day. Remember, the feeling would come on, I'd get short breath, I'd have to sit down, try to relax myself out. And I would just approach the day, you wouldn't even think I had anxiety. So I'd turn up to the cafe, a smile on my face, working my businesses, seeing people, making all these people feel good, but then unbeknown to them, I'm sort of crumbling inside with this anxiety. So I remember just wishing one day, just saying, I just wish this would be over. I can't wait to wake up and not have anxiety in a day. It got that full on. And, at the peak of all that, I came across L-theanine, which is an amino acid we use in Mellows, and I was skeptical about the whole thing because, when I first experienced the anxiety, people were like, oh, go and meditate, go and do yoga, and it's like, when you go and join in a yoga class or a meditation class and you're full of anxiety, the last thing I want to do is sit down and try to tap into my subconscious mind and sit there and relax. It's like, I just want to be at home with my family. I would rather just go and hang with them, and that makes me feel safe, that makes me feel more relaxed. So I tried that, tried chiropractic stuff, I tried a lot of things and it didn't really work. And then I came across L-theanine and I started using it, and dead set, and the first time I used it, I vividly remember the first time I used it, and it was within about an hour of taking it, just in water, and I just was like, wow. It's like all the mind chatter that starts these panic attacks just completely switched off. Completely just switched off. And I felt, for the first time in a year and a half, I could just sit there in peace and be present. And it's crazy to say because after using L-theanine for a period, I think it was only about 2 or 3 months until it completely cleared everything up for me. It gave me the space to be able to say, you know what? It wasn't just, one thing I was doing that created the anxiety. It was many things. And I couldn't identify that before, because when you're invested in that and you're busy and you're working away and you've got a family and you're doing things you need to do, you just work on autopilot and you just do the best you can. But when I started using L-theanine, I could actually become present and go, wow, it was actually my lifestyle as a whole, and this has helped me actually get to a point where I feel relaxed, I feel calm. And it's important to say, but at my peak of having anxiety, people would say to me, hey, and my loved ones, hey, you need to medicate yourself. And even the thought of going to the doctors and getting, anti-anxiety medication, it's just like, no way, there's no way I would ever put chemicals in my body and use that sort of stuff. And I heard countless stories of people just medicating themselves, and I'm like, why would I want to medicate myself and turn off these feelings and not feel anything? How's that going to get me better? But unfortunately, so many people do take that route. So coming back to taking L-theanine, it actually allowed me to overcome this whole journey through anxiety without having to go down the medication route, which I think is a huge thing as well. So yeah, it got me to that point, and I said to my wife at the time, I said, Dad said, I've got to use something. I've got to create something with this product. We've got to get out there. We've got to help people, because I'm so passionate about that. And I know what it feels like going through that whole journey. Honestly, your dad said feel like you're having a heart attack. Like your heart, you can feel the rhythm of your heart beating through your chest. You shallow breathe, but then at the same time, it's this out of body experience. Like you're drawn out from being in the present moment. It's quite an eerie sort of feeling, but you completely feel like you're not in control of anything. And when you're in it, you feel like you're dying. and the thing is, it just comes out of the blue, man. It's something that consumes. It takes away the world from you. It consumes it. But the thing that happens is, it doesn't matter what sort of space you're in, whether you're at the beach or you're with your family or whatever, it can just sort of come out of the blue, and it takes you right out of that current moment. It's from anything I've experienced in my life, it's been dead set the number one most powerful thing I've been through to date. It's seeing people and hearing their stories. Like after our event at Splendor, I just heard so many moving stories. And it's amazing when you sit with someone and have been through that experience yourself, how you can relate to these people on a completely different level. And we would just be with each other, telling a story for 10 minutes, and you feel like that connection is just so strong straight away. But I dead set, seeing people and hearing the stories. To us, colour represents energy, and energy is all around us. So that's where the colourful gradients come from. Mellows itself is really a way to start the conversation around mental health as well. I don't like to call it mental health, but around mental health. It's to allow people to know it's completely all right to turn up and not wear a mask if they're not feeling 100%, and allow them to be their true self. I wanted to create 100%. I wanted to create a drink that I would drink and I'd give to my family to drink. And I'm a type of person, I'm not at the takeaway fast food joints, Today I'm normally at Mullumbimby at the farmers markets, buying organic produce, right? We do a lot of cooking at home, and we eat mostly organic as well. So for me, steering away from things like sugar, steering away from things like caffeine, and going as natural as possible was dead set the only way I would create a product. Because again, I would want to feel safe drinking it myself, So that was the reason why we went down that route. Just the core values of Mellows is really allowing people the opportunity to fully express themselves. I think in this day and age today, too many people turn up pretending to be someone else or pretending to be the people that they think they need to be to impress other people out there in the world. Where Mellows is created to give yourself that opportunity to again remove that mask, be your true self, and truly express yourself as well. And yeah, that's really what's your point. Theanine as a whole, it's such a magical ingredient because when it crosses the blood-brain barrier and releases those good feel hormones like serotonin and dopamine, it also has a really cool effect on your brain waves. So it increases those alpha brain waves as well. So being able to then become present after you do drink Mellows, it's just amazing. You say like you're in that music realm and you're sort of there enjoying the moment. Normally if you're drinking other things where you're quite busy, you're not in that brainwave state. So again, after the Mellows, you can actually truly enjoy that present moment. And again, it's just like, what I was saying before, becoming present, allowing yourself to enjoy that moment. Awesome. Cool, man. So if I could tell someone one thing who's experiencing anxiety right now and going through these feelings, I would say to them that the thoughts and the feelings you're feeling now are not you. There are ways to cure anxiety, all these feelings you're feeling. And there is 100% hope. And don't go down the medication route if you can help it. Seriously don't. There are ways to be able to overcome this. And this is happening because all it is a chemical imbalance in your brain that's making you feel this way. And you're reacting to thoughts and creating big feelings from those thoughts. Well, again, it comes down to that the basis of everything is that energy controls everything. Energy controls absolutely everything around us. And it's like, when you're in that state of having anxiety, you don't see it for what it is. So you just think to yourself, I feel weird, I feel like I'm having a heart attack or I'm dying, and this is it. But you don't see that you've just literally reacted to a thought-based process, to a thought, and attached this really heavy feeling to that thought, and then just blowing it up out of proportion, rather than using your heart.